Hello and welcome to tutorial 7, where we are going to be looking at inheritance, overloading, overriding and polymorphism. Very important concepts with object orientation. So to start with, what is inheritance? Inheritance is where a superclass or more general classes get inherited by subclasses to create more specific meanings. So let's have a quick example here. We've defined a vehicle class here. And it's just vehicle drive, which means any vehicle is driving and any vehicle drives a certain amount of miles. In this example, we have a class car, which extends vehicle, takes the drive method, and it says car drive. So vehicle in this case is a superclass and car is a subclass. A way to test how inheritance would be working is via an is-a relationship. So you would write car is a vehicle. So if you would say vehicle is a car, just that's not right. But if you say car is a vehicle, that's a way to know if your inheritance makes just sense in general. So superclasses and subclasses. Superclasses is a more general. A superclass is a more generalization of it, so it has very general data types and is used. Examples of this would be vehicles, persons, types of rock, so you could have just rock and then subclasses of different rocks. Music genres, so genre itself is a superclass, and then you can have types of genres, so rock genres, hip-hop, dubstep, if we want to call that music. So moving on, we can see here we've defined a vehicle object and we've made a method drive. So if we're to run this currently, so compile, run, says vehicle drive. This is what we kind of to expect. So first of all, overloading. Overloading is where you change the change the parameters which change the body. So here's an example. We have two methods called drive, but we've overloaded the method. So one takes in no arguments, the second one takes in an integer and then states how far it's driven. So if we were to quickly just put this back in. There it is. Control S. Quickly compile the code. Compiled. And now if we run, we can see polymorphism just knows which method to call depending on the parameter that has been inputted. Very important. Moving down then, overriding is normally done in subclasses. So if you see here, we've got a drive method which inherits from vehicle, which completely changes the implementation of the method. So then if we were to run a car object and say .drive, it would do car.drive. That's the basic principle of inheritance. Now inheritance goes in hand with polymorphism. So the question is, what is polymorphism? Polymorphism is the ability of an object to take on many forms. This is where the is-a relationship is important, because if a relationship holds the is-a attribute, it is considered to be polymorphic. So the car is a vehicle is the is-a relationship. So let's give an example here. We've got the vehicle object below, but rather than just saying vehicle equals new vehicle, what we've done is we've got vehicle equals new car. So it is equaling this class. So what you would assume is, when we've got vehicle.drive, which one do you think it's going to call? Will it call this one or will it call this one? Since we have successfully implemented a correct polymorphic relationship, it will call the car.java's drive function. So when we run the code, it says cars drive. Now the purpose of polymorphism is very great for just scaling in programming. So rather than having multiple objects where you're going to have to car, vehicle, let's say you've got a truck and a bike, rather than having 4 objects for different things, you can have one main object, so the super object, and polymorphism can be used on it, and then attach it to the car, the vehicle, the truck, the bike. So it's just basically great scalability in a program, which is its primary purpose. With that, that is the basic concept of polymorphism, overriding, overloading, and inheritance. So just to quickly explain, summary, inheritance is where a subclass implements a superclass via using the extends keyword. Without this, inheritance wouldn't work. Overloading is where you have the same names of a method but have different parameterizations for it. Overriding is where a subclass takes a superclass method but changes its implementation. And polymorphism is where you have a super object, but it can be initialized with its subclasses, and it can be used on the methods to directly use the correct method. So in this example, we use the vehicle drive, but then by here we use the car drive. Hopefully that is simple enough to understand. It's a hard topic to get your head around, and it's a hard topic to explain because it is a massive thing. The next tutorial video we're looking at handling exceptions. So we're just moving away now from concepts of object orientation and just looking into handling errors such as array index out of bound, file not found exceptions, arithmetic expression exceptions. We'll be looking at those in the next tutorial video. So I hope you understood this. If you don't, rewatch it, read the content on the webpage. That should all be enough for you to understand the concepts. Hopefully you will. See you in the next tutorial video.